The ancient oak stood sentinel on the crest of Whisper Hill, its gnarled branches stretching towards the sky like wise, twisted fingers. Generations of villagers in Elmwood knew it simply as the knowing tree. It wasn't merely old. It pulsed with a quiet, deep awareness. Children felt safe beneath its canopy. Lovers carved hopeful initials into its resilient bark, and elders often sat on the mossy roots, sharing secrets. The tree seemed to absorb into its very core. Sunlight dappled through its dense summer leaves, creating shifting patterns of light and shadow on the ground below. A living tapestry woven by time itself. Birds nested in its high crooks, squirrels raced along its limbs, and the wind sighed through its leaves, carrying whispers only the tree fully understood. It remembered everything that happened within the circle of its shade, holding the joys and sorrows of centuries within its vast, silent heart. One spring, a quiet girl named Elara moved to a small cottage at the foot of Whisper Hill, shy and carrying a sadness too heavy for her small shoulders. She often wandered alone. The bustle of the village felt overwhelming, the laughter of other children a distant, confusing sound drawn by an inexplicable pull. She found herself climbing the gentle slope towards the great oak. Its sheer presence, immense and steady, felt like a comforting embrace. She tentatively touched its rough, deeply furrowed bark, warm from the afternoon sun. A sense of profound peace washed over her, a feeling she hadn't known since her grandmother passed away. It felt like coming home to a friend she hadn't met yet, a silent guardian waiting just for her. Elara began visiting the tree daily. She wasn't seeking conversation, for she rarely spoke aloud, but she brought her thoughts, her quiet tears, and her small joys. She would sit for hours, reading her books nestled between its massive roots, or simply watching the clouds drift by, framed by its leafy ceiling. One afternoon, tracing the intricate patterns in the bark, she whispered a question about a half-remembered lullaby her grandmother used to sing. A gentle breeze stirred the leaves above, rustling in a complex, almost melodic pattern. Elara closed her eyes, and suddenly, the melody filled her mind, clear and sweet, accompanied by the faint scent of her grandmother's lavender soap. The tree hadn't just heard her. It remembered the song from a time long before Elara was born, when her own grandmother sat beneath it as a child. As the seasons turned, the knowing tree became Elara's confidant and teacher. She learned its subtle language, the way sunlight catching dew on a specific leaf hinted at rain, or how the rustle of leaves changed pitch when someone approached the hill. She felt the tree's deep contentment during warm summer rains, its patient endurance through winter frosts, and its vibrant joy when new buds burst forth in spring. She shared her own stories, her fears of never fitting in, her dreams of painting the sky. The tree absorbed it all, its presence a constant, reassuring weight against her worries. Sometimes, vivid images of the village's past would bloom in her mind. Children playing games forgotten decades ago, the bustling market on feast days long past, gifts from the tree's endless memory. One crisp autumn day, heavy with grief after a disagreement with her mother, Elara ran to the tree. She buried her face against the rough bark, hot tears falling freely. She poured out her frustration, her confusion about her family, her feeling of being an outsider. Why did her mother seem so distant? Why did they move here alone? The tree's leaves whispered urgently. Then, a warmth spread from the bark against her cheek, and a scene unfolded in her mind with startling clarity. She saw a younger version of her mother, sitting right where Elara sat now, her own face streaked with tears, whispering to the tree about losing her mother, Elara's grandmother. Feeling utterly adrift, Elara saw the profound sorrow etched on her young mother's face. A mirror of her own. The tree showed her the deep roots of her mother's quiet sadness, and her fierce, protective love. Understanding washed over Elara like a wave, dissolving her anger. The tree hadn't solved her problems, but it had shown her the hidden story, the shared pain connecting her to her mother across the years. The weight she felt wasn't just hers. It was a family story held safe within the tree's ancient heart. She sat for a long time, the rustling leaves a soothing lullaby, the tree's silent strength anchoring her. The wind carried the scent of fallen leaves and damp earth, a comforting smell of change and continuity. She realized her loneliness was part of a larger tapestry woven by generations finding solace under these same branches. Years flowed like the stream at the Elara base. Elara grew. Her visits to the knowing tree less frequent, but no less profound. She brought sketches of its majestic form, shared news of her life, and sometimes brought her own small child to introduce to the ancient guardian. The tree remained a silent witness to the ever-turning wheel of life in Elmwood. New children discovered its comforting shade, elders leaned on its strength, and lovers whispered promises against its timeless bark. The knowing tree held them all within its vast, patient consciousness, a living archive of whispers, laughter, tears, and enduring love. One starlit evening, Elara, now with silver tracing her hair, climbed Whisper Hill alone. She placed her hand on the familiar, weathered bark. She didn't speak, but her heart overflowed with gratitude for a lifetime of silent wisdom and unwavering presence. The leaves stirred softly, though the air was still a profound sense of peace. Deep as roots and vast as the starry sky settled over her. The knowing tree didn't just remember. It understood the quiet beauty of existence, the enduring connections forged under its boughs. It whispered without words that while seasons changed and people came and went, the essence of love and memory endured, held safe within the heart of the world, just as it was held within its own ancient rings. Elara smiled, feeling the tree's timeless embrace, a promise whispered on the night breeze.